Hey everyone, I'm back again today at 3 o'clock on this Friday. I hope everybody's doing great, and I want to say happy Friday. I know the weekend's right on the corner for everybody. Get to enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. Uh, and enjoy this nice little weather. Tomorrow's supposed to get a little bit of rain, so yeah. You might not be able to do much stuff outside, but it might be a good time to maybe go in the gym or maybe just start getting you into an exercise routine that you could do indoors as well. And that's kind of why I titled this, What Should You Focus On When You're Losing Weight? Now, that's a question I get asked sometimes. Um, Typically, I like to design programs for beginners that deal with large muscle groups. So, for example, you want to focus on chest, abs, legs, back, so forth. Focusing on those will help you burn a little bit more calories a little quicker. Plus, they tend to grow a little bit faster as well. So when you start working out or you start trying to lose a little bit of weight, you'll able to burn a little more calories more effectively that way. So that's tend of what I tend to do a lot with my beginners is I'll start them off that way so where they can actually build a routine and build a steady, consistent program by focus on, I would say, the eight major muscle groups. That's your shoulders, chest, back, lower abdominals, maybe lower back, glutes or legs, so forth, so forth. So focusing on those groups will help you more effectively get a great full body workout in and allow you to burn a little more calories a little effectively. So what are some of those exercises you might be thinking? You might think, well, I mean, what would be a good chest exercise? Well, there's plenty out there. Depending on if you have any type of shoulders injuries, you may want to stick with doing a machine type exercise versus doing like a dumbbell where you have a dumbbell in each hand, or you could do push-ups, which is a great full body exercise as it is. Then you could do rows. You got machine rows where you're pulling back with that arm, pulling back, engaging the upper trapezius and the scapularis muscles. And then, of course, then you could also do, let's say you get a lower back exercise, you can do back extensions, which help that lower back where you're leaning back, you're coming up. I don't know if I could demonstrate on here, but you're actually extending back and coming up with it is another great exercise adding into your program. And then, of course, you got abs where you could do crunches. You could do, I tend to let my people, depending on if they have any lower back pain, then I'll tend to steer them away from doing lower back exercise and focus more on stabilization of the spine. So we'll do planks instead of crunches, or we'll do a variation of that. But sometimes, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of bird dog, where you place one knee on the ground and one palm, and you extend, let's say, your right arm and left leg out in front of you. It's kind of a yoga pose, but that's another great way to engage the core because you want to pull your sternum in to your spine, or not your sternum, excuse me, your belly button in towards your spine, so you're engaging those other abdominals muscles, help create that nice core tightening feel. And then, of course, let's see what some other ones. You also do squats, which are great for not only legs, but also great for abdominal work as well, because in order to keep that upright posture where you're not leaning over, you're more upright when you squat down, you have to use your abdominals to pull yourself back. You have to use your core, your back, and your abdominals to keep this alignment as you go up and down. So that's some good things to think about as well. Let's see, and then of course you can individualize if you want to. You can do a little more hamstrings if you need to strengthen your hamstrings as well in your program. But I tend to like to stick with some sort of rowing, some sort of chest, some sort of abdominal exercise. And there's tons of different variations out there. If you tend to like to do body weight training a lot more, stick with the push-ups. And how do you think you can make a row out of it? You can actually grab, if there's a bar or a tree branch, or at parks they have these jungle gyms where you can lean back and you go back at an incline, kind of like that, like my palm, and you're at an incline and you would pull yourself up. You pull the bar to your upper chest, so you're pulling your chest to your bar, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and then you're coming back down. So basically you're doing the reverse of a push-up. Okay, you still want to maintain that flat back, so you want to be flat as possible, and you pivot on your heels up and down. So you're doing basically reverse push-ups if you want to think of it like that. Those are two really great exercises for body weight training. And then, of course, you could do body weight squats. Lunges is another great one. You got side lunges you could throw in there for variation. That's when you're actually going, when you do a side lunge, you're actually lunging outward and getting your inner adductors involved as well as your outer glutes. So you're actually activating a little bit more with those, but there tend to be a little bit more stabilization involved in those exercises. So I tend to let my people get used to doing either forward or reverse lunges, and then I'll have them vary out going side to side. Let's see, what else? You can actually incorporate a little bit of cardio into your routine, into that same body weight training. So jump ropes are great. Jumping jacks are great. If you've got like a step, like a bench or something you step on, doing step ups will elevate the heart rate and also engage a lot of the legs and the abdominals as well. Those tends to be a little bit of routines that you could do. If y'all have ever heard of Tabata, Tabata it was actually named after a Japanese a physiologist. He was studying the effects of insulin on super endurance athletes. So these athletes that are compete in the Olympics, and they're just above, like way up there on performance level. And he would push them to beyond 120% of what they're able to do. They would push them and push them and push them. He developed this program called Tabata, named after him. I can't think of his first name, but his last name was Tabata. And this routine, actually, you do 20 seconds worth of work as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and then you rest for 10 seconds. And then you repeat that 8 rounds, and your goal is to get to as fatigued as possible. And you push harder and harder each round, trying to push your oxygen consumption in your muscles as to their peak. And so that's what it was designed. But nowadays, we brought it into the gym. We like to convert everything and make everything a little bit more gym friendly. So we actually took that. So now we actually, when we say Tabata, it's not a traditional Tabata. It's more of, all right, we're going to do 20 seconds worth of work, 10 seconds rest, 20 more seconds. So kind of a little example routine like I did this morning with one of my clients. We did bent over rows with a plate. We got one of the 45-pound plate, and we would do a bent row where we're leaned over and we're pulling the plate up to our sternum and then coming back down. We keep our back flat at the same time, and we do that for 20 seconds. Then we set the plate on the ground, and then we do 20 seconds worth of push-ups. And we alternated those two, so basically doing 4 sets of each, making 8 rounds in total. And that was a really good upper body little routine. You get to fatigue your back, you get to fatigue your chest, and you get to strengthen all in the same time. And it only took about 4 minutes. So if you're really crunched on time, you could do a typical routine like that. Might help out a little bit too. So just a little tips and tricks today. Next week I do plan on going and doing a little more nutritional thing. I want to do on Monday, I'm going to start this whole little series of nothing but nutrition. So next week, I'm going to be talking a lot about nutrition. So if y'all want to stick around with me and stick in there and hang in there with me, I want to start going over on how to eat on a budget, also cooking healthy meals and different things like that. There's actually a whole series that was designed by a dietitian that I want to kind of go over with y'all, just kind of relay some of the information I found, and maybe some little tricks and tips, and maybe if y'all have any questions, y'all can message me too back on here, and I can help assist whatever question you may have. So thinking what else? I think that's about does it today. I'm making this kind of short and sweet today. But I wanted to throw out there some ideas for maybe if those that are interested in getting active and starting an exercise program, or maybe starting think about, well, I need to lose a few pounds. What can you do? There's little tips out there, tips and tricks out there that I can help you out with and everything. And on this video, I've talked about a little bit of Tabata routine, or focus on full body training, doing say 10 to 12 reps of each, and then 3 sets of each if you're doing a typical resistance training program. But yeah, so if y'all have any questions or you got any more ideas you want to throw out there to me, reach out to me. Message me on here on Facebook, and yeah, that's what I got for y'all today. Well, anyway, y'all have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see y'all back watching my videos again on Monday. All right, take care.